Today is Friday, the 15th of May, the year 2026. It is 4:10 in the afternoon, and I probably shouldn't even be recording with this device right now, but I'm taking a huge risk because, well, more on that later. I haven't been watching a whole ton of videos on YouTube this week, but I've been watching a bunch of other things, and I figured I may as well tell you a little bit about them and perhaps recommend them to you as sort of a filler video for anything that happens to be more substantive that I have planned in previous videos. Now, I know that I just recently acquired a new microphone from Goontic a few weeks ago. It's been about 3 weeks since I last posted anything, and I really should be using this. Unfortunately, this requires one hand in order to hold, and the other hand obviously will be holding the phone, so I can't necessarily work with two hands without this being clipped someplace, and I don't have a clip for anything of that sort, so that's why the audio is substandard again, because I have a few things to show you. First thing I want to show you is the Hallmark Entertainment adaptation of Moby Dick with Sir Patrick Stewart, Henry Thomas, and Gregory Peck. I picked this up at a rummage sale recently, and, you know, based on the fact that it is from Hallmark Entertainment, and as you know, I absolutely love the adaptation they did of George Orwell's Animal Farm. To this day, I still think that is the only adaptation of Animal Farm that is worth anyone's time. The animated film from the 50s is basically propaganda with an extremely pessimistic ending, and the one that they recently did, directed by Andy Serkis, supposedly, I refuse to watch, because from all I've heard about it, it is completely antithetical to the original purport of the book, and the only way in which you will get me to view that dreck is to force me at gunpoint. But please, don't feel obliged to do that. I saw this, like I said, I've not read the book, but was nevertheless curious about this adaptation because it was $1 at a rummage sale, as I said. And Ahab, he said it's one of his favorites. Obviously, it's his namesake. And I saw it. It's about 3 hours long, and it was actually great. It was a very good film. Actually has me interested in reading the book here, and the reason why I haven't read it yet is because, well, for a very long time, I've not necessarily been the fastest reader in the world. I have recently increased my reading speed exponentially to the point where I could basically read anything without any apparent effort, and this will be soon on the docket. As a story in itself, I think it's absolutely wonderful. The acting's pretty good. The effects, well, you know, it's from the late 90s, so you got to forgive that, and it was for television and whatnot, but overall, highly recommend this. This is another Hallmark Entertainment adaptation that I can recommend, and that will stay in my collection for many years to come, and I'll probably rewatch it again here soon. The next two are some documentaries, one of which, the first one I'm going to be showing you, I watched 20 years ago, and it just got back around to watching it again just a few days ago, and that is Prehistoric Park. The reason why two of these cases have artwork is because, well, I bought this from a Friends of the Library used bookshop, and this disc came in one of these cases, so I had to basically commandeer a case, an empty case that I had, and will hopefully be, I don't know, making artwork or something for that. But anyway, this documentary, if you're not at all familiar with it, it's a 6-episode series about this man named Nigel Marven, who I suppose in a Jurassic Park inspired feat endeavors to travel back in time to various stages of prehistory and bring back with him creatures including dinosaurs, megafauna, even some creatures that were around before the time of dinosaurs, and give them a second chance at life in the 21st century at this park in Africa. And I saw this when it originally came out in around 2006, when I was 6 years of age, and I remembered nothing about it, but I was obsessed with dinosaurs back then. I still am now. And I saw this, and I figured I may as well give this a rewatch. It is just as good as it was when I first saw it. These are Canadian DVDs, incidentally. So Joey's probably seen these copies someplace, but if you haven't seen Prehistoric Park yet, I highly recommend it. It's from the BBC, though it premiered on Animal Planet when I saw it back in October of 2006. And if you're looking for something that's a little bit different from your standard nature documentary and is kind of, basically sort of a soft Jurassic Park or a little bit of a different spin on that genre, watch Prehistoric Park. It's pretty good. Then the final documentary I saw 10 years ago, back in algebra class, because, well, half the time we didn't even do any maths because, well, just the environment and whatnot. And that documentary is Human Planet, also from the BBC. This is narrated by John Hurt, and I only just have the inner contents. I don't have the slipcase or anything, but obviously, I think I have not mentioned this documentary before, but it's about, essentially, it's taking a spin on the traditional nature documentary that the BBC does. And instead of talking about animals or dinosaurs or anything of that sort, they travel all around the world and basically film all sorts of different cultures of people and see how they've adapted to life in all sorts of areas of the world. And at the time, I was the only one who was really interested in this documentary when the teacher would put it on slow days in Algebra 1. And I did not have access to it at the time. I do now. I bought this at a rummage sale again, and I figured I may as well watch it. And I highly recommend this as well. And hopefully I won't wait another 10 or 20 years to watch any of these, though that may well be the case. I don't know. But anyway, those are just a handful of things I can recommend to watch for you. Moby Dick, Prehistoric Park, and Human Planet. And this is sort of a facade for what I really want to talk about. The whole YouTube thing, unfortunately, there have been some developments on my end that have severely compromised my ability to do what I wish on here. And I have no idea what the cause of this was, but I am no longer able to reply to comments on videos. I can heart comments, and I can also make comments in other people's videos, but I cannot reply to any on my own. So if you don't see any response from me, but you do see a heart, assume that I've read it. Also, because of certain technical things, editing on these videos will be minimal to none whatsoever, because, well, like I said, I'm working with the absolute most basic tools available to me, and I don't necessarily want to upgrade because, well, as I said, I have a whole other video about this issue that I do want to make whenever it's going to come out. I have no idea when, and you'll see why. And it's just, I really should never have gotten into this to begin with because, well, not this, not the YouTube thing, but just technology in general because, well, like I said, I'm taking a huge risk recording this very video. I hope you're able to see it someday. I don't know exactly when, but hopefully someday. But anyway, and then finally, because of some technical complications, all self-imposed, I might add, any of the videos that I did plan most likely will not be headed your way until around June or July. So it's most likely that Park Week will actually coincide with Shark Week inadvertently. So that is all I have to say right now. I am not going to be using this phone for the rest of the day because, well, like I said, I'm tempting fate at using it right now. I only use it for calls and text messages. And I'll get into why that is in that longer video, because technology is not my friend, and I am not its. So that's all I have to say. I apologize for ending this video on a slightly melancholy note, even though the original intent was to enlighten you to some pretty interesting little bits of media that I discovered over these past few days and rediscovered. But I hope you take this into account, and hopefully someday soon, no idea when, I'll be able to fulfill these promises that I have made, and maybe we'll get things back to the way they're supposed to be, and we'll get this show on the road. So I hope you have a good morning, midday, afternoon, evening, midnight, whenever you plan on seeing this. My hand's about to fall asleep, and we'll be seeing you soon. Cheers.